Hi, my name is Daria from World Music with Daria, and I'm here at this Google Hangout to share really interesting ideas about how to make music with your child. And when you're making music with your child, you're kind of teaching them not just about music, but about global cultures. And music is a really, really fun way to do that. It kind of shows you different learning styles. It can take you into different languages. It can be used for bonding, for teaching, for education. So that's why we're going to talk about music. But let me just introduce myself. My name is Daria Marmaluk-Hajioannou, and you probably guessed from that name that I've lived and experienced many, many cultures. I've had a very interesting life. I was raised mainly in a modern culture, and then I lived within two native cultures. And I've gotten the chance to go and play music and to live and work and be part of a lot of traditional cultures. So as I do, I've taken the wonderful things that they've taught me and I've kind of integrated them into the music so that I can have resources for you. A lot of them are free resources because I really believe in that people all over the world should have these fun things to do with their children without having to really spend a lot of money, especially teachers, especially languages. So if you look at my website or my app, you're going to see a lot of really, really neat free resources on how to make music with your kids. And in doing that, showing them how they can be a part of not just their own culture or maybe their family's culture, but actually all the world's cultures. They'll really be little global citizens. Well, let me give you an example because I've been talking kind of abstractly. I'm going to show you this instrument. I'm going to move it into the frame here. It's called a quijada, and that means jawbone. And what it is the jawbone of a donkey. And the interesting thing is that everyone makes music, but we all make music in a way. We use the things we have around ourselves, and we make music in a way that makes sense with our culture. So this is Afro-Peruvian. There are very few resources on the coast of Peru. So they took things they found, just a jawbone, and I'm going to actually kind of play it the way it's played. It's a little loud. But interestingly enough, it's played when people are dancing. So there's lots of music and lots of noise. And that's why you're going to hear this making the sound it makes. And this is a song, although it sounds like an American song, this is actually a song from the Peruvian coast. Yippee-ki-yay, yippee-yay, yippee-ki-yay, yippee-yay, yippee-ki-yay, 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 yippee-yay. So that's the Peruvian quijada, and you can learn interesting things about words in Spanish. You can learn interesting things about the culture. You can learn interesting things about how the African culture blended with Peruvian culture. And it's a really, really neat entree. I have a neat craft where you can make one of these. Obviously, you probably won't have a jawbone in your backyard, but out of an egg carton. And you fill, instead of teeth, you're going to fill each one of those different little sockets in there, and you can get the same kind of a sound. So these crafts are really fun ways of exploring an instrument, but then being able to make them at home from on-hand materials. So that's Peru, actually Afro-Peruvian. Let me reach down here and give you another example. I have with me Australian bilma. Now, bilma are clapsticks, and every culture has clapsticks. There is not an easier instrument to play than a clapstick. But I want to show you how beautiful these are. These use a lot of the designs you're going to see on didgeridoos. So I have a wonderful craft where you can make these with basically sticks and with Q-tips. And you can make your own designs and ideas. And then you can be using it to form a beat. Now in Australia, this is really neat. They play these when they're playing didgeridoo, and the didgeridoo is then used in a lot of storytelling and in games. One of the games for kids is a freeze tag game. So the didge is playing, this is keeping the beat, and when the didgeridoo makes a certain noise, the kids have to freeze. So it teaches them listening, and it teaches them the cultural stories. So it's, again, interesting how this is not just entertainment or crafting, but also kind of a really nice way to learn about the culture, the cultural values, but also to add your own spin, add your own colors, and then use it for your own songs. Even a song as simple that everyone knows, like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, How I Wonder, up above the world so high, like a diamond. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, So that's clapsticks. I want to show you one more instrument because I really love that you can actually see me and we're not just talking in audio here. I want to show you a shakere from Africa. You can see the beautiful beads on this. And I have a really neat craft where you can make this out of a milk jug. So maybe it's not exactly the same, but you get the idea of the beading and you get the idea of how it's played and you get the idea of how you can play it. And it's a wonderful way to learn about traditional cultures from Africa because it started in West Africa. But everyone liked the idea. So now they saw it. You'll find it in so many cultures throughout Africa, from very, very tiny ones to huge ones. So you can use one instrument to learn about many, many different cultures within Africa, how they make it their own, what language they use, when it's played, and how they enjoy their time with their family and friends. I'd like to show you this Pueblo drum because where I live now is Lenape territory. They're a Native American group and they've kind of welcomed me into their group, and I come and I go to powwows and I participate and I help grow some plants for them, and it's a very, very nice way for me to be a part of their culture. So I want to just show how music can help you be a part of maybe your own culture, your family's heritage, but also the culture for me of where I live, where my farm is. But you can also use it. Many, many families may have a mother and father from different origins. So you can use music to enjoy and to learn about perhaps your husband's or your wife's culture, or your grandparents' culture, or the culture of people that have moved into your neighborhood and you want to know more about. So I just want to encourage you to use music to kind of as this wonderful entree that brings people together and can be educational and can be fun, but it's also a way just to build bridges between people, whether they're the people of your own ancestry or the people in your area. Now, since I have my big drum, I can't resist playing you a song that is called Lenape Nan. And the lyrics mean, I am Lenape, thank you, creator, Wanishi. It means thank you, I am Lenape. And this was written by a woman named Michelle Windwalker. Well, oh, hey, hey, oh, well, oh, hey, hey, oh, well, oh, hey, hey, oh, well, oh, hey, well, oh, hey, hey, oh, well, oh, hey, hey, oh, well, oh, hey, hey, oh. So that is a big and a loud drum. And you can see, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is that everyone learns differently. So everyone likes to do different things. When I take these out to schools or to programs, everyone wants to beat the drum. They can kind of feel it in their heart. They like it. It makes noise. So the wonderful thing about it is that if you have many children, or even if you just have one child that you're teaching, you're going to find that they learn different ways. Maybe they like to learn with their hands on. Maybe they like to learn while they're dancing. Maybe they like to learn by reading things or writing things. Maybe they like to craft. So the wonderful thing about music is that you can use all these different kind of methods of learning in order to explore music. And the more you learn about your child, the more you can kind of suit your different lessons. So once again, I just want to ask you to go visit my website, visit my app, which is all free. And there's all these different ways that you can listen to sounds and use that as kind of an open door to say, wow, isn't that interesting that that culture makes music that way? And the reason I do this is the last thing I'd like to share with you, is that we really need to build bridges between our cultures. We really need people to be able to listen to each other and to hear each other. And when we engage in kind of fun activities like playing music together, learning music, we end up seeing our differences in a way that's creative, that's positive, that's enriching and inspiring, as opposed to fearful and upsetting and different. And there's so many things in the world now that teach children to kind of be afraid of those people, be afraid of people that speak that language, or that maybe wear different clothing, or that practice a different religion. So music is a way we can really start opening bridges between cultures and encourage a positive learning and a new harmony in the world. So use music, have fun, dance, sing, write songs, make songs, discover songs. It's a great way of encouraging your kids to be a part of this beautiful new world as little global citizens.